Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a mind-bending 8th century text that completely deconstructs our understanding of time, space, and, well, reality itself. Today, we're exploring the Mahavipulya Sutra of the Inconceivable Realm of the Tathagata. It's this profoundly deep piece of ancient philosophy that challenges the absolute bedrock of how we perceive the world. If you've ever found yourself wondering about the true nature of existence or how ancient thinkers mapped out the infinite scale of the universe way before modern physics even existed, you are absolutely going to love what we're digging into today. To help us tackle these massive cosmic concepts, here is our game plan. First, the inconceivable realm. Second, illusions of time and space. Third, all things are mind-made. Fourth, 3 steps to practice. Fifth, visualization and awakening. And finally, number 6, preserving the sacred texts. All right, section 1, the inconceivable realm. Let's explore the infinite scale of the cosmos. I absolutely love starting with this idea because it just perfectly captures the awe-inspiring macro to micro scale of the sutra we're unpacking today. I mean, just think about that imagery for a second. An eon, a measurement of time so vast it's practically incomprehensible to us, compressed into a single fleeting thought. And infinite lands, entire sprawling universes, fitting perfectly onto a single microscopic speck of dust. Right out of the gate, the text pushes our imagination way past its breaking point, just to prep us for what's coming next. So, what exactly is this inconceivable realm? Understanding this definition is crucial because it's the core thesis of the entire text. It describes exactly how an enlightened being perceives existence. And the wild part is, this isn't just some poetic metaphor. The sutra presents this as a literal experiential state of deep meditation. When you're in this state, the rigid, heavy boundaries of the physical universe just completely dissolve. You aren't boxed in by a clock ticking forward or by actual physical miles. Space and time, they become entirely fluid. The actual historical document we're analyzing, translated way back in the Tang dynasty by a master named Siksananda, sets a really vivid scene right off the bat. Picture this. The Buddha is sitting under the Bodhi tree in the kingdom of Magadha. The text describes this tree towering like a massive mountain, emitting light like a blazing fire. And sitting perfectly still right there, the Buddha enters this exact state of profound meditation. Suddenly, his body starts reflecting infinite universes, just like a crystal-clear mirror. Moving on to section 2, illusions of time and space. This is all about how perception actually shapes our reality. The sutra sets up this brilliant duality between how everyday folks view reality versus the boundless flexibility that an enlightened being experiences. Think about ordinary perception. If a meeting is scheduled for an hour, it's an hour long. If a mountain is a mile high, it's a mile high, right? It's rigid, absolute. But enlightened perception flips the whole script. The text explains that an enlightened being can stretch a single tiny split second to last for countless eons, or they can compress countless eons into one split second. And they do this without actually changing the fundamental nature of time itself. It's just complete, absolute mastery over the perception of reality. In fact, the text actually likens our rigid reality to a dream. You know when you have a super vivid dream? While you're asleep, that dream world feels 100% solid. The walls feel hard to the touch, the time passing feels completely real. But the second you wake up, you realize, oh, that was entirely an illusion generated by my own brain. The sutra argues that our waking life is exactly the same thing. We stress and we suffer because we are convinced this physical world has a solid, permanent reality, when really, it's just an optical illusion born out of our own lack of understanding. Which leads us perfectly into section 3, all things are mind-made. Let's look at the subjective nature of existence. The text uses this incredibly vivid analogy of the Ganges River to drive this point home. It explains that the world we see isn't objective at all. It's uniquely colored by our own past actions, our karma, and our current mental state. Say you walk up to a river, you see refreshing, clear, cool water. But a hungry ghost, which is a being tormented by its past negative actions, walks up to that exact same river at the exact same time and doesn't see water at all. It sees a horrifying river of ashes, pus, and blood. The sutra's telling us point blank, the river doesn't possess an objective reality. Our own mind constructs the river based on what's going on inside us. So, naturally, this leads to a pretty profound question. We're pivoting from abstract philosophy to actual boots-on-the-ground practice here. If we are all just trapped in this mind-made dream and the universe is just a projection, what do we actually do about it? How do we wake up? That takes us to section 4, 3 steps to practice. We're moving from the cosmic down to the personal. The source material lays out a really explicit, structured roadmap for this. Step 1, cultivating merit. Step 2, planting the seed. And step 3, cultivating wisdom. You absolutely cannot jump straight to cosmic universe-bending wisdom without building a rock-solid foundation first. You have to start exactly where you are. Let's zoom in on that very first step. The text stresses that cultivating merit is all about profound gratitude and active, relentless compassion. Sure, it involves reference for the Buddha and the teachings, but it equally emphasizes caring for parents, teachers, and crucially, the poor, the sick, and the suffering. The text explicitly states that a practitioner has to care for the helpless without a single moment of hesitation. It even says you should be willing to sacrifice your own body. You literally build the launch pad for enlightenment out of radical compassion for other people.
All right, Section 5, Visualization and Awakening. It's time to harness the mind's power.
Once that merit is established, the text explains the actual meditative techniques. The practitioner goes to a quiet place, sits down, and focuses single-mindedly on a golden statue or an image of the Buddha. You focus intensely, holding that image in your mind's eye without letting yourself get distracted, which, let's be honest, takes a bit more concentration than doom scrolling on a smartphone. You do this until eventually you actually see a true living Buddha appear right in front of you. And the point of all this? It's to realize that since everything is mind-made, the mind can literally generate the sacred. If your mind can manifest a living Buddha from a mental image, it completely proves the fluid, projective nature of reality. This quote right here, this is the philosophical payload of the entire explainer, the ultimate realization of the practice, understanding that even the concept of the Buddha is a projection. If you think about the Buddha appears. If you stop conceptualizing, the Buddha vanishes. True enlightenment, according to this text, is recognizing the empty, mirage-like nature of absolutely all things. You finally wake up from the dream when you realize that even the things you hold most sacred are just reflections of your own mind. I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. If the boundaries of time and space are really just illusions we've all agreed upon, what personal boundaries are holding you back? What limits have you unknowingly placed on your own reality? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey into the inconceivable. Keep learning, keep questioning everything, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.